Welcome to round 5 of the 2023 Porsche 944 Challenge Series Australia. With thanks to our supporting partners, Porsche Australia, Advan Yokohama Tyres, Seat Time Race Solutions, Pullmaster Bayside, 1-800 Lasagna, Raceline, AVI Technology, 888 Home Loans, Pit Lane Clothing. Round 5 sees the championship head back to one of the world's most iconic racetracks, the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit. Located around 130 kilometres southeast of Melbourne, the circuit is 4.4 kilometres long and runs in an anti-clockwise direction. The world-famous track is well known for being fast and furious, with a high average outright speed due to its flowing corners, plus the undulation and its southern location means weather always plays a part as well. Overall, there are 12 corners. The key ones to watch out for are Turn 1, a high-speed entry corner. Turn 4, a tight hairpin but a great passing opportunity under brakes. Turn 10, the steep drop-down section of the track known as MG Corner. And Turn 12, another high-speed corner which leads onto the long front straight and towards the start-finish line. Qualifying took place on Saturday morning, and it was the AVI Technology driver Adam Brewer who broke through for his first ever pole position. But not by much, just 0.1 of a second over three-time champion Chris Lewis-Williams. Cameron Bella starts third, again by the barest of margins, over Mark Torberts in the Pullmaster entry, who also recorded a 1 minute 50 time. Showing just how tight the field is, Lyndon Watson comes out of P5 and he too recorded a time in the 1 minute 50s, yet starts from 5th. Tony Westaway is alongside him in position 6. Carter Fox claimed 7th spot on the grid, next to another Westaway, Michael, who will start from P8. Joey Culloch in the number 77 comes next from the 5th row, alongside the number 10 of Manny Mezzaselma, who also starts from P10. English expat Keith Mariner comes next, out of position 11, in the Seat Time Race Solutions Porsche, whilst Josh Brisbane will start alongside him from P12. Jimmy Mitchell in the Martini liveried number 46 starts from P13, with the boss, Tony Andrzejewski, next to him in position 14. Adam Brewer's brother-in-law, Jared Campione, makes his debut in the category this weekend, and he starts from P15, and the number 32 of Johnny Venoris rounds out the field, starting 16th in the 16-car field.
(944s) making their way down on track.
Race 1 began on Saturday afternoon, in cool but beautifully sunny Victorian conditions. And with no rain predicted, the field was hoping for a clean getaway.
Jack, welcome to lead this call, and I'll chime in as I see fit. Hasn't it been a ripping year with the 944s?
Good afternoon, Darren. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to one of the greatest racetracks in the world. What a sensational year we're having so far in the 944 Championships.
Drama even before the start, though, with Lyndon Watson finding smoke in his car's cockpit.
Definitely looking forward to this one. Already we've got some dramas. If we look on screen there, we've got Lyndon Watson there, who's run into some issues as he's come out of pit lane, which is a bit of a shame. We had Lyndon return to the series at the moment, so I'm not sure whether he's had an incident coming out of pit lane.
Watson did get going, but would have to start from the rear of the grid, and by passing a number of official cars, it was yet to be determined if he was to face the wrath of the stewards.
Next job is the big task, and that is to deal with CLW and Cambella and keep them at bay. And Mark Torberts back up the front where he belongs as well, driving the Pullmaster car of Jackman as we are about to get underway. And Brewer fluffs it right from the beginning there. The pressure got to him.
Poleman Brewer was left standing at the start.
Two off the line there, so Joey Kellogg goes right down the inside. That's him right off to the left of your screen.
Michael Westaway flying off the line.
Bella goes through CLW, and then we've got Mark Torbitz and Brewer, who absolutely did fluff the start.
But the real mover was Bella, and he took the lead over Lewis Williams as the field headed down towards turn 3.
A real shame there for Adam Brewer, but I'm sure he'll fight back. But Cam Bella, they've actually had an engine change overnight, so for him to come out and be leading round into turn 1 and turn 2 is a sensational performance by the Bella team there. I know they've put a lot of hours into that car overnight. Sensational performance. Chris Lewis-Williams, the Baron of Benalla, sitting in just behind him, and El Presidente slots into third there. Joey Kellogg had a great start, and as you can see, rounding out the field.
Tony Westaway was on the move early.
Joey Kellogg surrenders a spot there on the charging Westaway. Tony Westaway comes through.
And it wasn't long before mayhem broke loose. Mariner became an early casualty with a high speed off at the fast turn 12.
There's a black flag being displayed there as well.
Then Meza Selma suddenly joining him in the gravel.
So we've got someone off at the top of turn 12.
Then Tony Westaway, Carter Fox and Lyndon Watson all going off as well.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no, that's Manny Selma down in turn 1.
Wow. So that they're all this has gone bonkers.
It has gone bonkers. That is exactly what it
Debutant Campione, however, with the save of the race.
Joey in the lasagna entry there, that arrived late on the scene there as well. So that has thrown an absolute cat amongst the pigeons because Watson has gone off there and they've all followed him off except for CLW, Cam Bella, Adam Brewer's still in there and Mark Torbitz. They're the only ones that have stayed out of any sort of issue at this point in time. We're only a lap and a half into the journey.
There's never a dull moment in 944 racing, I can tell you, but we've had about 5 cars off in that lap, just quietly. They are all over the place at the moment, the boys. I don't know whether we've got some oil on the track or sand or mud or dirt or whatever, but they're certainly struggling for grip.
And whilst all that was happening, Lewis Williams snuck through to take the lead. Torbitz was having a real battle, holding on to third from the recovering Brewer.
Mark Torbitz, El Presidente, slots into third, and Nads Brewer sits right on his bumper.
This is going to be a good run between these two because Mark has found some pace since jumping.
And Brewer took full advantage of the famous Phillip Island slipstream. More troubles for Lyndon Watson, with officials not happy, showing him the black flag, meaning a required visit to pit lane.
But have a look at this. We're getting a black flags for Lyndon Watson, we believe. Yes, so that was the car that had stopped on the outlap.
Lewis Williams and Bella continued their tussle up front.
Have a look at this up in front.
Yeah.
As much as things change in the world, sometimes they stay the same, don't they? From one round to the next.
Yeah, as we're pretty used to seeing, there are 7 championships between these two guys. You've got a 3-time championship winner in the Baron of Benalla, Chris Lewis-Williams there in the Tyre Power Benalla car. And of course, Cameron Bella in the Aqua car is a 4-time champion.
A fighting Tony Westaway went side by side with Mitchell and grabbed that spot.
Getting a good run up the inside there, and this is a good bit of racing here with these guys.
Yep. We've got Westaway there over Mitchell, of course. So Jimmy Mitchell's having a great run, if I may say, in the Martini livery car there, the number 46. But on screen, of course, we can see the Westaway, well known in the Porsche 944 categories, the Westaways, and Jamie is, of course, a multiple champion.
Campione was also in the action, suddenly in a real dogfight with the experienced Mitchell.
He's really starting to be on the charge, and in
fastest car on track by quite a margin too is Ads Brewer. Look at this, down into turn 3. This is where he's got his pace.
Up front, Brewer had rejoined the leading 2 and was charging hard, with all lap times coming down.
Again, it's a beautiful, sunny, dry afternoon, but it's the temperature's dropping a little bit, so that is actually going to probably help your lap times a bit here as well. But Ads Brewer as well, he knows if he can tack onto the front 2 here, he can get the slipstream. Careful here, you've got the sun in your eyes, late afternoon sun, so right there on screen. That'll be a factor, but it's just a matter of staying with the front 2 front runners for Ads Brewer, and he knows he's going to get that slipstream all the way down the straight.
seeing him coming meant Bella decided to up the pace, nabbing Lewis Williams into turn 2.
Have a look at this. We're going to have a swap for the lead, or are we? Into turn 2.
Wow.
Bella positions the car beautifully. Wow, that is what we are used to seeing from Cam Bella.
But Lewis Williams wasn't giving up easy.
He's going to put it down the inside as well.
Yep, that's a key breaking point as well. They're coming into Honda corner. Cam Bell decided to make a move there, which is a little bit relatively early for Cam, I would say. Although he knows that he wants to lead. In fact, I would dare I say it, he wants to get ahead and away from a hard-charging Adam Brewer here as well. But the sun and the late afternoon sun would be a factor. So maybe Chris Lewis-Williams, maybe he had a slight lift coming over the top of Lukey Heights there, allowed Cam to get through. The racing is so close. I mean, you've got literally 0.1 of a second between the top two. So any slight mistake and you know that these guys behind you are going to be all over you.
The top 3 went nose to tail, and eventually Brewer saw his chance under brakes into turn 4.
Speaking of tips, Ads Brewer really now having a lunge under Cam Bella.
That's it.
Can he get it done? Wow, very close.
I know as a
racing.
commentator you're not supposed to barrack, but come on, Brewer, let's go.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. Ads Brewer is a race winner himself, so he's no slouch either. So this is no luck of the draw. He knows how to lead a race and to win a race. So he's had success here before at Phillip Island. I know he loves this track. He improved that car a bit in the past. They had a test day here about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and Ads is. He told me this morning that the car is, in his words, much more compliant with what he wants. So in other words, the car is doing what he wants it to do. And when you've got a car under you that's doing that, that's a really positive sign.
Bella held on, but Brewer saw another opportunity.
And you can see how close Adam Brewer is there to Cameron Bella. So you really want to trust the guys in front of you. And this is where Adam Brewer is now really trying to take effect of this slipstream effect down the long straight. And in fact, he probably will. He'll go around the outside for turn 1. And that'll give him the inside line into turn 2. So sensational move there by Adam Brewer. But yeah, it's all about trusting the guys all around you. When you're racing this close at well over 200 kilometres an hour, you want to be able to trust the guys around you. All these.
With 1 lap to go, and just as he had done to himself, the experienced Bella grabbed the spot back from Brewer with exactly the same move.
Coming into turn 1, 3 wide almost, or 2 wide there with the 2 guys behind. That's real commitment there as well. You're through there at close to 200 kilometres an hour. Again, Cam Bella, the experienced campaigner, knows that if he goes around the outside of 1, he's going to be on the inside of 2.
Sets him up for 2, doesn't it? Have a look at this, but have a look at this, fighting back.
Fox and Culloch were fighting right to the line.
Looking at Carter Fox now as he's trying to dive under the 1-800 car.
Brisbane and Michael Westaway also having a strong race.
Can't quite get it done. Joey's in a fast car as well there, and we caught a glimpse of Josh Brisbane there as well. So he's currently sitting in 8th. That's a pretty good run for Joshy Brisbane as well. And Michael Westaway having a fantastic run, sitting up there in 5th.
But back at the top with a commanding drive, it was Lewis Williams holding on to take victory.
Cars sweeping around the top end of the circuit now. Checkered flag at the ready. Great job all day by our volunteer officials. And there is the checkered flag. It will be CLW, Chris Lewis Williams, to his friends and family. Cameron Bella into P2. Adam Brewer in the end settled for P3. But boy, a very, very close indeed P3 it was.
Tony Westaway and Meza Selma fighting all the way to the line.
Is it Manny Menazelma or Westaway? It looks like it's going to be Westaway that gets it home. Westaway to Manny Menazelma.
Sensational race there again. I mean, how close a racing is the Porsche 944 Championships? It's really impressive to see, you know, great race car drivers being that close to each other, going hammer and tong on one of the world's best racetracks. So it's Chris Lewis Williams who takes out the win in race 1. Cameron Bella home in 2nd, and Adam Brewer rounding out the podium. Mark Torbitz with a solid 4th place. And Manny Mezzaselma fought back from an early spin to round out the top 10. Jared Campione with a fantastic first up effort, coming home in 11th in his first race. Ahead of Tony Andrzejewski and John Vanoris, Lyndon Watson and Jimmy Mitchell with mechanical issues, and Keith Mariner with the high speed off early in the race. Just prior to race 2, we caught up with the race winner and 3-time champion
Chris Lewis-Williams, to discuss his return to top-level racing.
Chris Lewis-Williams standing to my right here. He's a familiar face in Porsche 944 competition. You sort of, not disappeared, but you sort of went away a bit, now you come back again. What's the story behind that?
So fortunate to get the CEO role at Benalla Auto Club, so 6 years, and it was just hard to race and compete at the same time. So we did a Shannon's round and sort of, disappeared from 17 to 20 what-ish and dug it out of the shed. So we opened up a tyre power store in Benalla. James, the tyre tech's pretty keen to learn about race cars, so we play with the car. I found Dave, my old race mechanic, and said, "Do you want to go play?" And it's been fun, very, very low stress. What's pleasing is we've been competitive. So a bit of an old bloke now, not the young bloke I once was, and it's good. A good bunch of guys in 944, and we race hard, we race close. So much turnover from when I came back, apart from Cam Bella, Mark Torbitts and a few of the other guys, Dickie Howe's always there. But a big turnover of guys, but the cars are good, and the guys are, Adam Brewer, good, fast guy. So it's good fun. It's good fun.
So you're speaking to that point where you disappeared, came back, but you're immediately on the pace. It's almost like you never left at all, but right at the front there with the Jamie Westerways, the Cameron Bellas, the front runners who are really established, very quick guys in 944s, but you're really taking the challenge straight up to them almost immediately.
Yeah. I guess that was a little surprise. It did take me a while to get comfortable again. Like the first couple of rounds back, I was a bit off, Jamie and Cam and Adam. But yeah, look, Dave prepares the car really good, and you just get your head back in the game. Been go-karting since I was 12 or something. So, I think it's something I enjoy, and the car's great, and it's been really good fun. Really pleased to come back, and a good bunch of guys to hang out with.
Chris Lewis-Williams, thank you very much.
Pleasure, thanks.
On Sunday morning, the field came out into beautiful, sunny and dry conditions.
Welcome back to arguably the greatest racetrack in the world, and when the sun is shining...
What's the argument?
Where else would you rather be? I don't know. Exactly. We'll just call it the best racetrack in the world, and especially when you've got a whole ton of Porsche 944s all set, all fired up, all ready to go racing.
Thanks, Greg.
Always close fought, hard fought racing in 944 racing. That's really what it's all about, but it's always close and tight, especially at the top. Jared's making his debut in the category this weekend, so we certainly wish him all the very best of luck. It can be a little bit daunting at the best of times, this place, but on your first race and your opening weekend, you want to settle the nerves and just enjoy your racing and learn all about the racing conditions all around you. But we wish him all the very best of luck. Just quickly, I want to mention, if I can, Michael Westerway. That's a fantastic performance to see Michael up back in the top six. He's in the bright orange car. You won't miss Michael.
But Lewis-Williams, Bella, Brewer and Torbitts the front four.
There's the front row, and I tell you what, it's a deep, deep front couple of rows there. And away we go. Bella jumps beautifully. Torbitts goes with him.
Fox was left standing at the start.
And Campione on his first run gets Carter Fox before they even get to the bridge there. But it's going to be Bella and Chris Lewis-Williams into turn one. Brewer logs in behind them there, clocks on.
Watson got away well, charging hard from the back of the pack.
Down into turn number two, it's Bella, and that is not what the following 13 or 14 cars wanted to see, because if he gets his nose in front, it is one of the hardest tasks to get through.
But Bella's good start meant he was first into turn three.
Much better start by Adam Brewer there as he came into turn two and turn three. And with the sun shining, the guys are streaming right down into what we used to call Honda hairpin. Cameron Bella in the Aqua car just takes the lead ahead of Chris Lewis-Williams there.
Brewer and Torbitts close behind.
And of course you've got El Presidente, Mark Torbitts, sitting back in fourth. He's in the Pool Master entry this weekend.
Mesoselma and Brisbane charging hard. And despite the pace, the field settled in on lap one.
Williams, no one attacking, everyone just setting themselves up for the first half a lap here. So that was really interesting. Everyone choosing to keep the road speed up, keep the car flowing well. And what we've seen is no one attack anyone on this opening lap.
Lewis-Williams looked to take advantage of the slipstream and edged past Bella.
And they run down into turn 1. Bella's got a handful now. Lewis Williams will have the inside running at turn 2. Can the tyre power entry come off best here? He's doing it for Benella.
As it turned out, just in time too. As suddenly, drama unfolded.
The race. One of the key things they're all trying to do is sit in as close as possible to the car in front. Oh no, we've lost Lyndon Watson there. Now we've had a couple of cars off. That's with Manny Menes-Selman by the looks of it as well. That's a real shame for both of those guys. So they've gone off at the high speed turn 1. Thankfully that gravel has stopped both cars.
Replays showed the turn 1 incident. With a sudden loss of rear downforce on the number 10 of Menes-Selman's car, and with that piece of bodywork coming loose into the high-speed turn 1, the car was suddenly thrown into a spin. Brisbane did a remarkable job to avoid the spinning Menes-Selman. Andrzejewski had even less room to find, blinded by the Brisbane car and narrowly avoiding Menes-Selman. And then Watson, following close behind, also had limited vision, and his car went into a slide as well, leaving him and Menes-Selman totally beached in the gravel.
Very well. What a shame to see Lyndon Watson there and Manny Menes-Selman stuck down in that gravel. If I may say though, the improvements they've done at Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit, you can just see how much that stops the cars going into barriers or walls, and that's great to see. But yeah, it's a real shame to see both those cars off already.
Pretty quickly, however, marshals and officials cleared the cars.
There's the Lyndon Watson, Don Watson Transport entry back under its own steam, so all 4 wheels on.
Both cars moving, yeah. As Daz was saying, they've pulled those cars out of the gravel. Both cars are rolling and moving, so hopefully they'll be back for race 3 this afternoon.
Well, the field is being slowed right up by the safety cars, so we can probably buy some time to get this race back underway.
Might get one more lap here.
It could be. It could.
It'll be really on if we get one more lap here. It's on at the best of times, this category.
Meaning the safety car came in and a 1-lap dash to the finish.
Wow, look at this. Lights are off on the safety car.
Here we go. Right, we've got 1-lap dash in the Porsche 944 Challenge Series. Now, this category is close at the best of times, let alone when you know you've got 1 lap to throw everything you've got at it.
There's probably a bit of a question mark over car 3 at this point in time, and he's got a definite argument, because I would suggest that Aqua car had obscured the flag point, but we were under safety car. Let's get this race done and dusted, and we'll call it as they come across the line. That's all you and I can do at this point in time.
Lewis Williams leading the pack.
Chris Lewis Williams lines it up, brings it around, and I think he's just easing it on now, and he has gone, and the field has gone with him. It's going to be tough to catch him and even get through in just this one single lap. There's the green flag, and away we go.
Tony Westaway grabbing a spot.
Westaway having a real big lunge there at Josh Brisbane in the green machine as they all plunge down this fast Gardner straight there. Chris, have a look at Ads Brewer. The Black Widow Spider having a real crack at it. Cameron Bella there on the Aqua car. Chris Lewis Williams just has ascended to the lead.
Torbits too attacking Brewer.
Half a lap to go, Daz, and there's only 0.3 of a second between the top 3 guys. So this is going to be a real classic fight to the finish.
Mark Torbits now got the bit between the teeth. The Poolmaster entry car number 20.
But with the shortened race called by officials, it was Lewis Williams who rolled home to take another win.
You're after tyres. Talk to the guy who's taking the checkered flag now, as we see Chris Lewis Williams across the line with Cameron Bella into P2. Then it's Adam Brewer, Mark Torbits, Joey Kellogg, Michael Westaway, Tony Westaway, Josh Brisbane, Carter Fox, Keith Mariner, and they stream over the line.
So in a disrupted race 2, it's Chris Lewis Williams who takes the victory again over Cameron Bella, Adam Brewer home in 3rd. The Westaway brothers, Michael and Tony, 6th and 7th, and Keith Mariner rounds out the top 10. Jared Campione, again just outside the points, ahead of Tony Andrzejewski, who did well to avoid the carnage. Manny Mezzaselma and Lyndon Watson classified as non-finishers after their high-speed offs. Brother-in-law of Adam Brewer, Jared Campione, driving the Campione Electrics 944, makes his debut this weekend, and the team had a chat to him just prior to race 3.
We love chatting to new competitors in the Victorian State Race paddock, and we have alongside Jared Campione, who's jumped into a 944 for the first time this weekend, but it's actually your first ever race meeting ever. Yep. What's the experience like?
Very overwhelming. It's overwhelming. It's first time on track, first time driving the car. See how we go. Yeah.
What drew you to Porsche 944s in the VSRS paddock?
Got a couple of mates here and have been pushing me in doing it. So Adam and Manny have been trying to get me into it for a couple of years now, so finally wrote me in. So yeah.
So now you got your first taste of racing a 944 at the VSRS. Are you here to stay?
Well, yeah, hopefully, as long as I do good and don't crash. But yes, yeah, 100%.
And finally, how's everyone been welcoming in terms of just bringing you into the community?
Great. It's awesome bunch of blokes. It's awesome. Could never have imagined more welcoming, team. So it's been good. It's great.
Awesome stuff. Thank you, Jared Campione.
Thank you. Cheers.
On Sunday afternoon, race 3, the final race of the weekend, and the weather stayed fine, warm and dry. Perfect for fast lap times.
Cars rolling out on track now. The 944s, Darren Smith right alongside me. A guy that is absolutely sweating Porsche. You can see the droplets. They've got that little logo on them as they come off his brow. Jack Hatley, final race for the day, and we've saved arguably the best for the last race of the day.
Good afternoon, Darren. As you said, Daz, a race coming up which, in our opinion, in the words of Vanessa Williams, have saved the best till last. Chris Lewis-Williams, the Baron of Manila, leading off the field from the front row again. He's leading the championships at the moment. He's in a pretty comfortable position and he's happy with things. I spoke to Chris not long ago. He's just controlling things as best as he possibly can because he knows he's got a four-time champion in Cameron Bella sitting right alongside him.
It was Bella who jumped off the line best.
And we're away for the last race of the day.
Cam Bella, great start off the line there. Cam looks like he's just going to take the lead. He's going to be on the outside of the very fast turn 1.
Torbitz and Culloch also away well.
Mark Torbitz, you'll see him in the blue Poolmaster car, usually run by Andrew Jackman.
The field streamed down to turn 3 with Lewis Williams eager to get ahead early.
Cars streaming out of turn 2, the long run down hill here to turn 3, sweeping around to the left here. Have a look at this, change of position down the back of the field there. Was that Tony Andrzejewski making a move there? But I'll tell you what, Bella is doing a move on a CLW, the Tyre Power Vanilla franchise guy who leads the field. Just shows Cambella the wide way around. Here's what Bella uses. Geez, a thinking race car driver. He's gone wide at Siberia. What that gives, and we'll see the result in about 3 corners time, flows the car better and he'll have better speed at the top of Lukey Heights. Let's see if he can use that.
As the field settled, Tony Westaway, however, found issues and slowed.
It was an absolute amazing race car in production trim. We've got a car slowing.
It's a shame there for Tony. It looks like Tony Westaway has had an issue. He's pulling over to the left there.
But it was Carter Fox who was flying, making his way past Michael Westaway.
But he's pulling outside the field. We've got Michael Westaway.
Michael Westaway's gone back a spot too to Carter Fox down the straight that time as well.
Great to see Carter's picked up 2 or 3 positions there as well. He's actually having a great run this round. He loves this circuit, Carter Fox. Still a relatively young guy, but really coming on as a race car driver. He's in a quick car, and he's picked up 2 or 3 positions already ahead of the experienced Josh Brisbane. Well, he's up now into the top 10. So, of course, there's always such close racing in the Porsche 944 category. That's why we love it. But in a one-mate category, this is what you're going to get. And when you get a bunch of guys who are all going as hard as they possibly can in a one-mate series, this is where you get such close, tense racing.
Mariner, Andrzejewski and Watson were in their own dogfight for the top 10.
Number 64, Mariner. And in behind was the fast-charging Lyndon Watson in the first opening stanza of this race. That first 3/4 of a lap was very, very quick, making up spots, but he's found a bit of opposition here in Tony Andrzejewski.
Meanwhile, at the front, Bella decided to take the lead into turn 2.
Wanting to make that stick as we go back to the front of the field here. Chris Lewis-Williams, Cameron Bella sets him up from a long way back.
Brewer too wanted a piece of the action.
Have a look at Brewer. He is now looming huge in these two guys' mirrors as he looks to the inside, says, no, I'm brave, but I'm not about to do the dive bomb down there.
Yeah, it is an absolute three-way fight, and I wouldn't discount El Presidente, Mark Torbert's there in the Paulmaster entry, just sitting off the top 3. But you can see how close and how tight these guys, they are literally inches away from each other, and it's a bit hard to see or appreciate on the screen just how quickly these guys are going from here all the way up from what we call Siberia corner, and you can see the beautiful Bass Strait in the background there. These guys are flat to the board. You are flat through here, which is called the hay shed. Chris Lewis-Williams in the white car will look to duck on the inside there. Cam Bella holds it pretty tight. Here's your next problem. You've got the sun straight in your eyes as you come over the top of Lukey Heights, drop down, really steep decline down the bottom of MG corner, flick it round to the right, get it up into 4th gear from 3rd gear. From here you are flat to the boards, I can tell you, flat to the boards all the way round through turn 12 and all the way down the long straight.
Lewis-Williams and Brewer saw a chance to overtake Bella with the slipstream.
It's alongside now, doing exactly what Bella did the last lap round. Adds Brewer, zags over to follow CLW through, and he's just left out of the running, mate, there. But CLW did a Cam Bella, didn't he? He lined him up, got a great run onto the straight there.
Watson then tried the same move on Mariner.
Keith Mariner holds strong, grabs the brakes. Lyndon Watson streams on through.
Mariner was also suddenly feeling the heat from Andrewski.
54 now has got the 27 attacking. He wants to get through just like Lyndon Watson did. Tony Andrzejewski filling the mirrors of Keith Mariner. Still.
This is where you can just get the advantage. Chris Lewis-Williams will duck onto the inside, which is fine, except Cam Bella knows,
doesn't want to give up the real estate.
And he knows that if he sticks on the left, he's going to just take that position back on turn 2. This is just the one-mate category at its best. So this is
really cool. In fact, what we're seeing is back down through the field. At the moment, Brewer has done the fastest lap in the race in P3 at a 150.17. But behind them, Joey Kellogg, Michael Westerway, Lyndon Watson and Drefsky, all these guys are setting personal bests. Ideal conditions.
Lewis-Williams knew Bella wanted the slipstream, but managed to hold him off into turn 1.
It is a high-speed game of chess, I would say, and that's what these front two guys have. A look at them literally side by side as they go down the long Gardner Straight here at Phillip Island. You're touching on 230 kilometres an hour as you head into turn 1. Chris Lewis-Williams again sticks to the inside because he wants to keep Bella out to the left, but this time Chris knows that he needs to get across to the left to block Cam Bella, who's a 4-time champion. But he's sort of running out of time here a bit. If he's going to have a crack, he's going to have to do it pretty quickly.
Kellogg was having a relatively lonely race, cruising in 5th.
There he is. He is currently sitting 5th on the road. Mark Torbert's just up ahead of him there, but he's got the track pretty much to himself, Joey Kellogg, at the moment. He's got a good 3-second advantage over Michael Westerway. Mark Torbert's is another 3 or 4 seconds up the road there. So the 1-800 Lasagna Man sitting in P5, you'd have to suggest that that's pretty much where he's going to sit there. Great.
With the last lap looming.
Right, that's a tough weekend for Lyndon with 1 lap to go. I dare I say it does. I reckon we've got 1 more lap.
Things were getting very tight at the top.
Lyndon.
Oh, have a look at this. This
Wow.
is what we want.
Yeah.
Put your glasses down, ladies and gentlemen, or pick them up, whichever way it is you want to celebrate or concentrate on what's before you. Adds Brewer, looks to the inside now. There's fight left in him. He's going to run down into turn 3. He's going to go up the inside of Cam Bella. Cam Bella's not concerned about that because he's going to have to go a long, long way around as Chris Lewis-Williams comes over. He sees the move coming on there.
Brewer threw everything at Bella, but simply couldn't get it done against the 4-time champion.
I reckon we've got a 1.5 laps to go, but Ads Brewer is starting to throw everything at these two front-running guys.
No, definitely last lap.
This is last lap. We've had confirmation this is last lap, so he knows he's got to get ahead of Cam Bella because Bella is going to throw everything straight back at him as he does through there. He goes through the Hayshed corner. Chris Lewis-Williams just trying to stay calm. in front, but how close is this racing with half a lap to go? It's the Baron of Benalla leading from Cameron Bella, the Black Widow Spider. Adam Brewer throwing everything at Cambella, inches off the bumper of the Cambella there. Can he do it? 1 to 2 more corners to go. Let's see how he goes.
And despite the incredible three-way fight, in the end, it was yet again Lewis Williams who stayed the course to claim victory.
As Chris Lewis Williams takes another win over Cambella and Adam Brewer, separated by 0.3 of a second. A very big thank you, Jack Atley, for your time this weekend. A very big thank you to everyone down in the Blendline TV van, our officials right around the track. Can't wait to see you all at the 888 Home Loans round number 6, Calder Park, October 28 and 29. We'll see you then.
So, race 3 rounded out a great weekend with a 3 from 3 win for Chris Lewis Williams. Cameron Bella again home in second, and Adam Brewer again rounded out another podium. Carter Fox home in a solid 7th, and again Keith Mariner rounded out the top 10. Jared Campione through his debut weekend unscathed. Manny Mezzaselma, Lyndon Watson and Tony Westaway's battle-worn cars all heading for an early garage. Looking at the points tallies after round 5, as the 944 Challenge Series competes nationally as well as locally in Australian states, there are 2 sets of championship points awarded. And firstly, looking at the Victorian State Series, it's Chris Lewis Williams who still leads that tally, just ahead of Cameron Bella. Adam Brewer sits in 3rd, Joey Kellett, Mark Verdino and Mark Torbitz seem settled mid-pack, Josh Brisbane inside the top 10, Keith Mariner now just outside the 10, 2-time champion Jamie Westaway mid-pack with limited running, Jimmy Mitchell top 20, Vlad Kennedy, Jared Campione and Pete Doherty complete that table, whilst in the overall national 944 Challenge Series, no change for the top 3. However, Josh Brisbane moves to 8th, Keith Mariner up to 9th, and Ryan Woods still sits inside the 10. Tony Westaway and Andrew Jackman coming back from injury, just outside that. West Australia's Tim Wolfe and Andy Tudor mid-pack. Manny Mezzaselma inside the 20. And again, it's Vlad Kennedy, Jared Campione and Pete Doherty who round out that table with limited running. If it's close, hard and fast racing in stunning Porsche machinery on some of Australia's best racetracks that you're after, head over to our website www.944challenge.com and check out all the information. The 944 Challenge Series will be back, bigger and better, for round 6 at Calder Park on the 28th of October. We look forward to seeing you there. With thanks to Blendline TV, this has been a production by Pit Lane Media.